All right. What up? Peace, peace, peace. First and foremost, hopefully the Most High Yahushua is blessing your day. By His mercies, we aren't consumed. We're alive in the Most High Yahushua's body, and two are naturally alive, man. And we're gonna get into this, man, because I was reading this yesterday, man, with Proverbs 25, and Yahushua, taught about this, and you know. Here's the thing about it too. Yahushua taught about this, and one, when it says in Proverbs 25, one, if your enemy, how to show love to your enemy, things of that nature, and this is all part of being in the Most High Yahushua's image, man. Because we kind of gonna revisit what we talked about the other day. I think it was the last week when we talked about this stuff, how how we were once, why we had to forgive, honestly, because. No, let's just look at that. Let's get this real quick, man, because how you have to forgive, because we were once enemies of the Most High Yahushua, man. So, yeah. Yeah, so, let's get this. Ecclesiastes chapter 28, verse, Ecclesiastes chapter 28, verse 1. It says, "Forgive thy neighbor in the hurt he hath done unto thee, so shall thy sins be forgiven when thou prayest." Verse 3. One man beareth hatred against another. Do he seeketh pardon from the Lord? He sheweth knoweth mercy to a man which is like himself, and doeth act forgiveness for his own sins. So pretty much it'd be a hypocrite. Honestly, with that, and hypocrite can't stand before the Lord. And this is all it was saying what First John is going into. How can you expect, and Yahushua would say, how can you expect, forgiveness from the Father when you didn't even forgive your brother and your sisters, man? So that's just what it is. But also, too, man, we're going to look at this aspect of how we were once enemies of the Most High Yahushua, being in His image, man, and how even He fed us with His bread and water, man. And let's get Proverbs chapter 25, verse 21. It says, "If your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat. If he is thirsty, give him water to drink." Why, man? Because one, Yahushua taught this too. Because you see this with David, what David did, even in the law. But also too, man, the Most High Yahushua did that for us when we were enemies. Let's read this again and go to Romans, man. It says, "If your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he is thirsty, give him water to drink." So let's go Romans chapter 5 real quick. Romans chapter 5, verse 10. It says, "For when we were enemies, we were reconciled to Yahweh through His death of His Son. How much more, being reconciled, we shall be saved by His life." Exactly, because even in Yahushua's death, it brought life. See, He died so we could overcome sin and death. Honestly, one, to fulfill the book. And two, He was slain from foundation of earth. One, He was to do that, and two, fulfill the book, do the Father's will. Then, so we can overcome sin and death. But also, too, man, we were once enemies, even before we came into before we even got this word, came in the word, man. We were enemies of the Most High Yahushua. So being in His image, that's why He's saying that. That's why the Most High Yahushua can say that. Because one, a good leader is not going to tell you to do something that they want to do. Honestly, I'm pretty sure you brothers and sisters heard that all the time, man. That's a good leader. They're not going to tell you to do something that they wouldn't do themselves. Honestly, that's why even different gangs, groups, cliques, honestly, most of them wouldn't, well, now it's a little different, but if in organized, crime, for example, or even a job, a good leader is not going to do something that they would themselves want to do. But that's, neither here, I nor there. I just use that, the gang cliques, the crime, organized crime, for example, not promoting that. But yeah, let's get that. Let's read this Proverbs one more time. It says, "If your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he is thirsty, give him water to drink." So see, let's go to John 6, because then Yahushua and the Most High Yahushua give up, one, their water to drink and bread. So let's get John chapter 4, verse 14. That water is the gospel witness testimony, man. And covenant, the water and bread is that, man. But John chapter 4, verse 14, it says, "But whoever drinks of the water that I shall give him will never thirst, but the water that I shall give him become in him a fountain of water springing up into everlasting life." So see that? Let's read that one more time. It says, John 4:14. But whoever drinks the water that I shall give him will never thirst, but the water that I shall give him will become into a fountain of the water springing up into everlasting life. So hold on, y'all. So yeah, let's get to John chapter 6, verse 50. Because this is the Most High Yahushua, the Most High Christ, giving us the bread and the water. Honestly, I mean, now we're not enemies now, but still, even before, like that's why we always lead off. By His mercies we are consumed. It says, "This is the bread which comes down from heaven, that one may eat of it and not die." So see that. So see, let's get Proverbs chapter 25:21 again. It says, "If your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he's thirsty, give him water to drink." So see that, me in His image, because the Most High Yahushua did that for us, man. So hopefully it's edifying for you brothers and sisters, man. So much love to y'all. So peace.